Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of our podcast series. This episode will be highlighting and discussing the differences between renting and owning your real estate website. Stay tuned to learn more. There are many digital companies that promise to develop a customized website for your business before they ever get to know anything about you. Most of these companies charge a monthly fee for their services, and then when they deliver the website to you, you notice that it's an exact replica of some of the other websites that they have created. In other words, when they say we build custom websites, what they really mean is that they have a template for all their websites, and within those templates, they simply add your photo, logo, fill out the rest of the information that you've provided for them. And all of this comes with a monthly subscription fee, which in real estate terms implies that you actually don't own the website, but instead you're renting it. So the minute you stop paying that rent, you lose that property, your website. The next thing that I want to bring to your attention is that these websites that these digital marketing agencies are creating for most people, they're using a software known as SaaS platform, which is also a software as service platform. Now, these softwares are automatically updated. They typically have IDX or MLS listing integrated, and more importantly, they all look essentially the same. These software subscriptions is exactly what you pay for upfront, and then you're paying for it on a monthly fee. These websites shouldn't even be called custom-based websites. These are really template-based websites, but they're being sold to you as custom real estate websites for your business. Now, all that is fine, but you may be wondering, well, what are the downsides of renting versus owning your website? Perhaps you don't mind paying the monthly subscription fee, and you don't have any issues with that. Well, then consider the following. The monthly subscription fee can be increased without any further notice if the company decides on it. And if you don't like the increase in fee, then it's too bad for you. If the company ownership changes, and along with that few policies or the quality of customer service changes, then once again, you as the customer are at loss. Now, let's say you decide that you want to leave and work with a different company. Then the other thing to really consider, which is probably the biggest downside to this, is that you have to leave everything behind, which includes your customer relation management, your email addresses, your lead magnets, as well as any other data that you might have collected over the years of working with this company. And the reason behind it is, and they might deny it, but these SaaS software as service platforms, they typically make it very hard for you to export your data. All right, now let's get down to it. How do you actually own your website? Well, this is end of 2020, we're approaching 2021. If you have your own business, whether it's small or big, and you don't have a website, it's really time to start considering it on a more serious level. Now, owning your own website means you only pay for it once. You don't pay for it on a monthly basis, you pay for it once. And then any small additional fee for any little changes that you might have down the line. When you work with us at Digi4Real, this starts with an initial discussion where we discuss your visions, your value, goals, ambitions, and then we come up with a strategy for you. And in that, we also include your logo. And after discussing with you what your USP is, we highlight your unique selling point and the areas of your expertise. Now, this is the part where we get to know you in order to serve you better, rather than just using a bunch of templates and just putting whatever information we got from you. Keep in mind that, of course, with that being said, the two things that you do pay for out of your pocket on monthly basis perhaps are your domain name, which oftentimes is purchased from GoDaddy or SiteGround or Bluehost, and that has its own yearly subscription fee, as well as a hosting provider's fee. And that's natural, but you're paying for it directly to them. You're not paying us for that. And the other thing to point out here that's only, and I'm being serious, this is only like a fraction of what you might be paying to your SaaS provider in the long term. Because your website is not something that you just want to keep for, a few months. This is how business is going to be evolving. It's already been evolving like this. So your website essentially becomes your storefront for a lot of businesses. And it's only going further towards that trend. Now, when you own a website, you can take advantage of other things as well, real digital marketing tools like local search engine optimization. What is that? We'll discuss more of those in our upcoming episodes, but essentially it's Google or any other search engine, including YouTube. And when you create your content, you're able, and it's search engine optimized, like we mentioned in our previous podcast. You're able to really take advantage of it when you have your own website. Content creation, like podcasts or weekly blogs for your audience, for your leads. In other words, you get to own your website, and any changes that you make to it down the line, any email addresses, any data that you collect, that's yours to keep. And let's say if you decide to work with a different developer in the future, all that data remains the same and it remains with you. Very easy, and you don't even need to export it. Basically, you own your website. Next time you want to work with a different developer, you just tell that developer, look, this is my website, I need you to work on it. You don't necessarily need to start from scratch all over again. Now, the most important thing over here when it comes to owning your own website is that you get to stand out. You get to be different as well as creative with your own website, because it's your website. You own it. You pay for it once, and then it's yours to keep. Any social media ads you run, any pay-per-click advertising that you run, you're able to track that analytic of it directly on your website. Now, we've mentioned this previously, and without meaning to sound redundant, I just want to say that your website, when it's unique, when it's different, you're able to develop a unique brand identity. The true potential of virtual tours, 3D floor plans, promotional property listing videos are not really optimized in multiple listing services like MLS. When you showcase a bunch of properties via IDX, MLS, or VOW, you're not taking full advantage of digital marketing tools that are out there. The true meaning of brand awareness means being unique, standing out from the crowd, and that can only be done when you own your own website and it is customized to highlight and align with your vision that reflects on your website. Becoming familiar with your website allows you to add content. Understand that owning your website is an investment that is essential for your business. Rather than trying to get a basic website that looks like all the other ones that are out there, build something that is everlasting, something extraordinary, that pleases the eyes and provides value for your visitors. Homeowners or home buyers want to get to know you as a person, as a realtor, before they decide to choose you. Otherwise, they have options of seeing basic property images all over the internet. Countless number of websites that are out there with the exact same MLS property listing and have zero showcase of the actual agent that they're designed for. With that being said, I just want to end on this note that let us create a unique website for your business. Consultation is free, and we work with people like you.